Rain and Carrigan, full grades. HEs as well as flashbangs and smokes. Don't see that every day.
It's like a fast pace as well. Faze want to start this off in a very aggressive fashion. Everybody's starting to rally towards that A position. SK, it's like almost a knife round where there's a miscommunication where to me, everyone's stacking towards one location for either side. SK playing the A retake. Just Fallen, looking to see what's going on. Nice first pop, that's what you got to do if you want to hold these big pushes as the CT side. And now he's got some help as well. We've already seen how powerful those T pushes can be towards CT spawn. And there goes Fallen. Taco trying to rise to the occasion here. A lot of players to deal with, just teasing at the moment, trying to buy time for his teammates to come and help him out.
Indeed, he is buying time, and Fur is making his way through Palace while these fights are happening. The bomb is planted for CT, and the kills are going either side, and now it's down to Fur, the last man standing. Position unknown at the moment, but there's one play towards ramp, spots the head, but can he take it down? Yes, Carrigan, it's too late, doesn't know where it's coming from. No kit onto Fur. Can he draw Nico out? Nico with not much HP. First got to force the fight, but Nico just needs to stay alive. And, well, that's doing even better. Taking the pistol for his team, Faze. Start off well versus SK.
That was so close as well. I love how Faze was trying to play that, trying to take control of CT spawn, but SK Gaming were making it so difficult. Earlier today, we saw how Astralis approached the situation as the T side. They get a couple flashes short and deep when they want to take these positions. We didn't see the same flashes here from the T side of Faze, but they were still just able to take it away in the nick of time. So let's see how this quick start for them is going to finish, because they have to deal with these Deagles, and they've been so problematic against Cloud9. They were so annoying. Faze be able to hold against those.
Fallen is keeping most of his money in the bank. He is looking to save for that AWP later on, and we've seen him do some disgusting things already to help his team make it to this point. Very tough fight in the semi-finals. Oh, cold zero, there's one. And important crouch stops Ali from getting taken down as well. Very important crouch peek indeed. More Deagle fire coming in from the B bomb site. No flank at the moment, but Rain is on the way. 2 Ts. Oh man, these Deags cannot be stopped at the moment. 2 kills for Taco. Spots the bomb carrier as well. And SK, they're going to have the high ground. Phelps, he's the last man, but he's on the high ground. They don't know that he is there. If a default plant comes in, then maybe there'll be more problems here for FaZe.
Phelps, position unknown. The surprise element, that's how he wins this round. Still unknown. Great position. He's trying to play it smart at the moment. Nice pickoff. Can collect the AK as well. All of a sudden, a doable round here for Phelps. Now, the only problem is Rain knows where he is, but he does not know where Rain is. Although I think he's got an inkling. Now he's seen him over wide short. The play comes in. Knife to try to dodge the angle. But just as Rain was moving as well, such a tense battle between these two players now as Phelps tries to get a superior angle, trying to get it. Oh, Rain taken down to critical health. 2 points of health remaining on Rain. That could not have been closer. 2 rounds now for FaZe against the 0 of SK Gaming.
A tense start. Massive damage done on the force fight, at the very least for SK. Maybe that comes into play later on. But for now, the AKs are coming out, and they won't have much to fight against in this eco round for SK, mostly USPs. There is a Deagle onto cold zero. 2 with 3 rounds in that. This is the 3rd round, and the Deagles are popping off already. Cold with the 1 Deagle on the SK team for this round. So we'll see what FaZe's approach is. The bomb already on ramp, and it looks like it will be a standard split for FaZe Clan. 2 players in the middle area. Mid can be somewhat precarious for an anti-ecoing T side. Exposed to many positions, but of course, there isn't much going on in terms of weaponry for the SK side. Standard stuff, the smoke dropping into the connector position.
I think normally that would suggest that they would be going to B as well, trying to go up to catwalk. But instead of going towards A, into the stack. There is only 1 Molotov on Rain. This could be a little bit hairy. We'll have to see, though. That's a very well-placed Molotov there to try to weed out any players in the shadow position, of which there is 1. But for how much longer? Looks like he's been managed to evade that Molotov damage. First just sitting in shadow still. I don't think that anyone has seen him just yet. Still in that position. Went up the ladder, but the superior weaponry will be more than enough for FaZe as they, in a coordinated manner, move through the bomb sites. So a little bit worried for them there, but that's a good recovery after how much damage was done by those Deagles.
That's buy time. Fallen has exactly enough money for Kevlar and AWP. Well then, first starting with the UMP on the buy round for the CT side. The rest of them in with the M4s and a sniper rifle onto Fallen. Reasonable number of grenades. Fast plays from Faze. We've seen this from Ali as well, moving quickly up to short, but first it will be Rain on the first buy round of the Grand Finals. Oh, Rain, he spotted some info, but quickly comes back. Tries to get some more. Maybe catch a CT out of position. He can still play his normal role. Maybe looking for somebody in CPL. Nico taken down in the meantime, but Kishima's made his way to Sandwich.
And so far, we see a lot of kills towards the connected position. Still one player that could cause issues. Rain, he's managed to find himself behind enemy lines, playing a very covert role, and he could be the playmaker that can make this 3v3 very advantageous. Spots the one, execution comes in, onto 1-2, and the third on the spray. Absolutely fantastic stuff from Rain. What a start from him. Highlighted on the desk, and you can see exactly why.
On the desk.
Brilliant play.
(4-0), SK quickly heading towards max loss bonus. Pistol round though, with some Kevlar here and there. One smoke on Fur. That's about it for this round. For SK, we'll see where he deploys it. Fallen, creeping, can't quite get the snap onto Kyoshima. Good start to this anti-eco round from Faze. Karrigan looking too far beyond the balcony position. That will give an opportunity to SK, but they won't retrieve the SMG just yet. You can see there's a flank from the CTs as well, so Alu is somewhat stuck at the moment. The CTs may go for some kind of double peek. They'll prove successful, and that may spur on Faze to move into the A site, which in fact they've done. Fur putting in some damage as well. It's a 4 versus 2. They've picked up an AK and a MAC-10.
It's looking very, very precarious at this point. Kyoshima does manage to eventually trade onto Fur, who is stuck by the stairs, but the damage really has been done indeed. There is a couple Kevlars here on these CTs as well. Phelps and Cold, although Cold is on 11 health. Kyoshima now trying to take CT spawn, wants to get a quick engagement to even the numbers before all the CTs are available for a coordinated attack. But they so far evaded Kyoshima, but for how long? He is now just sitting in a very open position towards Connector, looking for that first man. Where is it going to be? SK playing that slow style and caught off guard. Taka coming in with a MAC-10 from CT, causing problems. It's down to Nico, a 1 versus 3, and he doesn't know which way to look. It's going to be Taka now with the defuse. SK steal a round.
3, 2, 1. They've just got enough time to defuse the bomb. It'd be lovely to see that on camera. First round on the board for SK, 1-4. And this round will be just as important. They don't want to get reset in this situation. That would be very horrible for them. So opportunity still knocks for Faze. They've got their full buy, 4 AKs and AWP. So let's see what they're going to be up to. Fallen on the sniper as per usual. Again, we know SK as well as Faze have the power to go double AWPs later on. Aggression, order of the day for Fallen. Very close with the AWP.
No kidding,
got support from Cold as well.
James, when do you take that angle? That's insane.
When you're Fallen, if you're Fallen and you have a sniper, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Most of the time it works. That's what we've seen today.
I guess he gets the free pass. I think that is fair indeed. Well, we have right now middle under control of Faze. They got top mid, they got bottom mid as well. Kyoshima can see that he's actually slightly paranoid that there could be aggression behind him, that someone could be pushing the B apps. Now Alu looking to try to open things up with the AWP as the smoke is soon to dissipate. Faze, how do they convert this mid control? That's always a big question. We do have Alu, I believe, running all the way back for the bomb now, as they want to go for that triple-pronged attack onto the A bomb side. It's a scary one, but SK, I think they have players in position to deal with this. 2 players close to slope is often good at beating these rushes.
45 seconds on the clock. Fallen still facing forwards, but maybe Rain will soon emerge from the Palace position. Missing his shot, and now where does he reposition? He needs to get back into a safe space, and this really isn't the most ideal position for his AWP. That might not be either, but he'll make the best of a bad situation. 30 seconds remain, and the bomb's rotating away from the B bomb, from the A bomb site towards B. Rain will lurk in the Palace area. There are still 3 CTs here, but they're starting to realize something is afoot. First, starting to rotate, going through the crawl space, but for now, Taco is alone. He can't stop the bomb from going down. Rain pops from the flank, but they have no idea. SK, they've still got 2 players towards the A bomb site. They haven't seen the bomb just yet. There's no rotation.
Crazy play here from Faze all the way to be Taco caught out of position. Now it's down to Fer to at least just buy some positioning. If he dies, his teammates will get locked into that shop area. He has to stay alive in this position. He can't push just yet, but he can with a flash. Now his teammates have made it to the B bomb site, but the problem is he'll be taken down by Nico as he goes for the play. Knows someone's by bench, calls it, but now indeed they're stuck in the shop. How do they get out of this position? There's no smoke at this point to stop them, but if they're to move through those choke points, surely they will go down. Good attempt from Fallen there, but they will just have to concede this. Nico going in for the hunt, finds himself a headshot onto Fallen and the finishing shot onto Cold. SK will get away with nothing.
Faze looking extremely dangerous, and those are two crucial kills because SK had two players on $3,000 or more, which means that they could have dropped. They probably would have bought around what they had saved, but they get completely wiped out by the likes of Nico. And he's just getting started. 5-1 in favor of Faze. Looking good for a... Oh, they are going to buy it, actually, regardless. So they've gone for the force buy SK. 2 UMPs, the Mag 7 onto Fallen. Third down to the CZ. They had successive pistols earlier. Now they've got a bit more. It's very much easier said than done to win around like this. Rain maybe waiting for a pop flash from his teammate, just creeping, looking for any gaps in the smoke. 1 minute 30 on the clock. Fallen has taken a very forward position with the Mag 7 on a ramp. And there is Nico around the palace, keeping the CTs honest as they re-smoke CPL.
SK Gaming are a team that don't want to allow Faze to have a rounds where there's no pressure. They always want to keep the pressure up. And SK Gaming also very good with pretty much every weapon, always a plan. But the plan could perhaps be undone by the likes of Rain. He's been stellar so far this tournament, and he'll open up the round this time against Fer, taking Connector away from the CTs. That's some information gone. An opportunity perhaps for Phelps, but he'll immediately get traded. Carrigan with another one. The entry into the B-bomb site. Fights. 1v1's being won all over the place here by the Faze players. Just leaving Cold alone with a UMP, and he's sorely out of position to catch the bomber, unfortunately. So he's in a spot where perhaps all he can do is save a weapon and play for an exit of some sort. Does find an AK, which is always nice, but that's about it so far for him.
Alu should have been able to hear him. From the apartments, you can hear a CT around that short position. So if you're going for a fast pick, for example, towards the B bomb site, and the CTs are looking to get aggressive from short, you'll hear them at the beginning of a round. So Cold will try to hold on to what he has. A disastrous start for the Brazilians here on Mirage on the defensive side, heading towards 6-1. They're only going to get 1,900 for losing this force buy. So Faze are going to be running away with this first half, it seems. And again, Nico will not allow any save by these CTs.
Yeah, this is actually an insanely strong first half so far for Faze. Just those resets hurt so much. You can see how reluctant SK were to just go for a straight save in this situation, wanting to take momentum back away from Faze, wanting to keep their money down so they can force ecos later on, but it's really not to be the case just yet, as the money can now start to build as SK are forced to this save. A CZ, a Deagle, that's all that we really see here so far for SK. And with a fast push into the A-bomb side, a well-coordinated one, Faze will likely crush this round. SK would be lucky to even get a couple frags, I feel.
But they've got giant USPs down, surely. They're bigger than the AKs, they must be lethal. And maybe they are, but it's the CZ to get the first kill onto Kiyoshima. Can that gun be retrieved? We'll soon find out. Maybe not. Wipeout, the USP kill from Phelps. And Fer, the last man standing in a smoke. He might get a cheap kill here. It's taken him a while to realize where he is, and he does indeed. Some cheap damage, but the round is in favor of Faze, and that's what counts at this point. Faze on average of $6,000 in the bank.
It's kind of insane to get that much damage, James, out of 3 USPs, a Deagle and a CZ. Like 3 kills against a full buy round, all pushing into the A site with the grenades. That's pretty ridiculous.
It's nice, but I'll tell you what isn't nice, Dan, being 1-7 down versus Faze Clan in the GrandFinals on the first map.
That's true, and they would love an AWP in this position, but they are going to be up against some aggression. SK want to level that disadvantage by going aggressive with their lack of utility, taking the fight in an unexpected manner towards Faze. And it's worked. They've got a pick off early on, but Looks like Faze want to take advantage of these CTs out of position, going aggressive in middle. They know there's space to be taken for free on the A bomb site. That's what Nico's done. He's passed to that position as sandwich, but doesn't get anything. It's Carrigan instead to get a trade to make life a little bit easier. But they're getting wiped out at the moment. Looks like SK are in really good shape now.
SK alive with 4 players. They want to keep it that way. Again, the money is going to be very important. Alu, quick snap, but no fatal connection. Carrigan rotating the bomb, perhaps to join his teammate, but they don't really have the numbers game to even play mid at the moment. But Alu needs no numbers game. Fallen, taken down. Trying to play against the blind spot, not quite working out for him. 50 seconds for Faze to do more damage. Phelps moving through a ramp. Faze better decide where they want to go soon. Taco creeping around the connector area, but he needs to make sure there's no boost around CPL as well. In fact, he has much work to do. And it seems that Faze may have found the gap, the missing piece in the jigsaw puzzle, but Phelps is rotating back around to Palace. He's not going to top mid, so time is of the essence here. 17 seconds and Taco's repositioned. He's trying to read where these Ts might be playing. Where could they have gone that we haven't seen them? Where would they plant? 10 seconds. They're going to go for the short plant. Taco is there, but Alu very patient indeed. Phelps has to go slightly wider, and that is the round 1. It's too late. Alu needs to save. The Molotov coming out. Not the best play in that situation, and they will lose all their weaponry.
It was so insane there as well. The timing of Taco actually jumping out of the window was just as Alu peaks the window position from jungle. It was so close.
Nico was unlucky around the sandwich Tetris area. Jumped while he was firing. It wasn't a good situation anyway. Double peak at the very least. 1 high, 1 low. 2-7. Faze had money in the bank and they've spent it for this buy. There were limitations after they lost some players on that eco round, which is going to leave Nico with a deagle and $100 in the bank.
Here we are, another mid-take from Faze. This would be the perfect round to win after SK, of course, just won one. Try to get that reset in again, as they've been so good at doing so far. Rain with a fast take of this connector position. And it's so good to have on this map. You can do so much from connector. You can play lurk off of it whilst your team, goes towards B, or maybe you can, help on the split. Effort towards the A bomb site, take away information from the CTs, create pressure. It's such a spot for the Ts to be able to use well. And interestingly, we'll see Alu also in this ladder room. You can do so much from that as well. Pressure in towards the window room, see if there's anybody there. Oh, that's a lot of damage there from Rain. That could very well have been a kill for Lucky to be alive. As Rain, again, keeps the pressure up. Whilst his team takes space and entries towards B, that could be the opportunity now as they start to move to that B bomb site.
Taco's just made a push all the way through A, but can the rotation come in fast enough? Perhaps not for having to fight in the middle area. They'll at least keep Rain entertained for a second, but Faze, they are just winning the duels, as simple as that. 3 versus 2 at present. Taco making his way to top mid, and Phelps will try to be the bait in the meantime. Spotted in CPL, he can make his way towards market. I don't know if Taco's been heard in the short position. You see Nico holding an angle towards that market area, but he's heard Taco. Now the shoulder pick allows him to get past the angle, and now his teammate can move in at the same time, but he needs to win these duels. Trying to pre-fire Nico, flashbang coming out, and Nico's ready for it. Out with the pistol, Phelps can't get through the window. Faze win another round. They can't string rounds together, SK.
So, such a sick entry frag from Nico. He managed to get a 1-dig on the guy all the way at bench just as he entered from the short position. And if Nico doesn't make that frag, it takes so long for Faze to almost do anything. And here it is. That is so sick. And that's the frag that allowed Faze to take that B bomb site in the first place. They had the positioning, but you have to have a player that can just go for those insane kills. But now we're into the next round. It's 8 rounds for Faze and 2 for SK. We see a couple of deagles for them, a UMP, SCZ. It looks desperate, James.
This first half is looking like a write-off. Technically speaking, 7-8 is still possible, but how likely is it? Not very likely at all. Fur going for an aggressive push through B apartments, but it might not be enough at this point. He's lost 2 of his teammates already, and the bomb is still in T-spawn. He might just about not see it as it's collected by Nico. Taco with a flashy kill, but it's a 2 versus 4. His teammate's gone towards mid instead of T-spawn to A. Opportunities missed, perhaps. A double dink. And surely it's a matter of time until these last 2 players go down. Taco's managed to collect a UMP. See if he chooses to save it. Hasn't got much health, and again, they've got that economical reset, so it would be something going into the next round.
Yeah, things really do slow down here for SK. I mean, they're a team that's so good at keeping the pressure up, but Faze have obviously been doing such a great job themselves. Nico at the top of the scoreboard at the moment, 15 kills, already 6 deaths. Absolutely beasting. We saw some great rounds from Rain as well, able to get behind enemy lines and make big plays. And those are two of the biggest playmakers on the team, on an incredibly skilled team. A lot for anyone to deal with. Hopefully we can see SK managing to find some fortune to get themselves some rounds in this first half. And Faze have been pretty active on middle in a lot of their rounds. Like that seems to be their clear default. Get some connector control. In some rounds, get the ladder room as well. Build from that. That could be something that SK can look at. We've seen previously SK tried to challenge it early round when they didn't have many weapons. Perhaps that's perhaps we'll see that again on the next buy.
His dad sells Avon. Shout out to Avon, Dad. Could buy you some perfume, Dad. 2 rounds to the 9 of Faze. Fighting with pots and pans, SK, and they've been purged, expunged, removed from the kitchen. It's a brutal first half, Dan. I don't know what else there is to say at this point.
Yeah. I mean, the pace on the first 3 rounds was insane, and it didn't really seem to slow down after that. And that pace is where Faze live, to be honest. Their players really good in those aggressive situations, so it's not too surprising. Rain getting shot in the back there. A rare situation, usually it's Rain shooting everyone else in the back. But taste of his own medicine, perhaps. But it's fine, everything's fine. SK Gaming, and you have Coldzera left with a USP and no armor, so Faze will likely soon eliminate him. It'd be hard to see Cole getting much done from this position. Obviously, it'd be amazing if he could get a kill, steal away a weapon, try to save that weapon into the next round.
He could inspect the washing products in the market, Dan. Could spend his time doing that, because there's not much else for him to do in this situation. Faze about to head to double figures, which means that there are all of 3 rounds for SK to try and claw back in the first half of Mirage. They will get 2,400 for the loss of this. So they're going to be on roughly $4,500. Again, they will be lacking in their buys, but at least they'll have some rifles. They've been in bad situations before. I don't think they'll be too phased, no pun intended, by the current situation. It is a best of 3, of course. Some flashes, some smokes, and some rifles for SK. But what can they do with it? They've tried passive, they tried aggressive, and they're still stuck with 2.
And it's always so difficult when you see SK like really needing rounds and they can't afford an AWP. But here is the mid-aggression I was talking about. But Rain, incredible aggression himself, rushing the short position, but the trades are immense from SK Gaming, eliminating all of the top mid presence from FaZe Clan, leaving just Nico and Alu in a 2 versus 4. But there's almost no grenades here for SK. A couple smokes and a couple flashes, that's it. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity for FaZe to win this round with 1.5 minutes left.
They need picks at this point. You saw the CTs, they spotted Nico towards top mid, but it wasn't a fight that they needed to take. They don't need to give the 1 versus 1 in this situation. 4 on 2, very strong position for the CTs. And even if one of their players goes down, it's likely to be a lot of information for the CT side to at least trade or position accordingly. Bomb needs to be collected by Nico, and he's heading that way. 50 seconds on the clock, so we don't really know where FaZe will make a play. I think it's reasonable for them to expect 2 people per site. See Alu picking up the AK, does not want to get traded when they are low on the numbers, so they'll try to be more nimble with the AK-47. Spotted 1 player, not sure if he saw the guy on toll booth. No snipers for the CTs, that may help them slightly. And there's Fallen, picked off towards CPL.
Yeah, less than 30 seconds to go now for FaZe to make a move onto a bomb site plant. They'll have to get things sped up here dramatically, I would say. 15 seconds, Nico, he loses the bomb and dropping that surely. Curtains in this round, Alu can't get there in time. And now it's all he can do to try to survive, but that will not be the case. 10 rounds for FaZe, SK now with 3. Off the back of that victory, off the back of that crazy 3-man mid-aggression. That's what they needed, James, crazed aggression.
Lots of cash for FaZe, so they'll have no issue or little issue with buying in this round. More pressure to come the way of SK to get their 4th round on the board. We'll see if they can do it. Alu's back on the sniper, despite dropping it in the previous round. No sniper for SK in this round, so I have to be careful at which angles they choose to hold. versus the Finn Sniper Lord. Fur and Phelps close to ramp. Fallen very active, Cold moving into B. SK trying to get a read on the situation. Smoke and B apartments at the moment, and Faze taking it slow. SK did get 3 very quick kills in the previous round, so Faze will change the pace. It is theirs to dictate on the T side. Alu holding a passive angle in case there's a mid push. And there's that infamous pop flash. We've seen many kills from that by many players on Mirage. Just over a minute, and Faze start to get active, taking the bomb towards A.
Yeah, just waiting patiently. I love these two-man slope setups, very aggressive. But again, there's a shadow advantage from this position for Ferb. So let's see if he's going to get fortunate. If there's only to be one player there from this angle, Ferb should have a massive advantage. We'll see how it develops, though. There's players all over the map here for Faze. They have a couple towards connector now as well, as they start to encroach upon this site. And there is that massive advantage that first angle gives him. And Molotov did nothing to stop him. It is only to be Nico to be able to make a frag so far here for the Faze side. Carrigan chiming in a trade over at B. Madness all across the map. But 20 seconds and the bomb is down on slope.
Nico's alone. 2 of the 3 players tagged, but he's got 15 seconds. Pretty much needs to run to his doom at this point. He's got $400 in the bank, 400 bucks, as Dave would say. Insta trade is there, and SK, they find their 4th round. The money is questionable for Faze, so perhaps life becomes easier in the last round of the first half of the Brazilian side. Cold 0 with the AWP for this round. Right, then let's see what Faze have to offer. Again, the Deagles have been very strong across the board at these LAN finals. Rain, Nico, and Kiyoshima looking for the meat shots. Aggression, though, from Fur.
Wow, not even firing a shot there, Nico. Fallen now in a great position in shadow as the rest of the Faze players finally on a 4 high start to push into the A site. But it's going to be fairly lackluster in the face of Fallen's defense. A couple kills for him. Ooh, Carrigan there. Getting very interesting towards the short position. Nice pick off for him. Alu knowing that there's a player nearby. Fallen, he killed one of his comrades or just Fur just previous. Fur taking a dink there. Alu switching away from the grenade there. Not the best timing. He's now the last man standing as Carrigan's been neutralized. And it looks like SK are holding tight onto that bomb by the slope position. Well and truly in their hands. What does Alu do here? It's a very tough position. Got to go for it. Of course, it is the last round of the first half. As he makes his way up with a UMP. He's going to be trying and praying for a miracle. What on earth was that shot? Able to take down Fur. But that's going to be 5 rounds for SK. To be honest, a fairly decent result if you consider how dominated they were for the for the majority of the first half.
Yeah, they got the last 3 rounds in a row, so we were looking at a 10-2 scoreline up until that point. So it's a slight recovery, but it's definitely a fighting chance moving into the second half. And indeed, there are lots of emojis in the chat, so check those out. One of the new additions to the YouTube gaming platform, custom emojis. Let us know what you'd like to see as well at Faceit on the tweeters. So we're back into the pistol round, and it seems that SK will be headed towards A, at least with the bomb. 3 players in mid for the time being. So we'll see what they are proposing to their opponent's Faze. Alu getting shot straight in the face, but his Glocks are not at the ideal range.
Yeah, really fast push up mid, no messing around. The pace for both teams on the pistol has been so fast. Fur rounding the corner, finding Nico. Taking him down with excellent play from that pistol of his. Now it's time for the retake. Faze start to muster an attack. Start to position around this bomb site. Start to coordinate in, but we have players from SK all over the place. Their positioning is fantastic. All these forward spots. You see Kiyoshima is so wary of going through the vents. It's very difficult. Meanwhile, though, Rain has found his way to a very close position on the slope. This may be very unexpected. Easy frag for Rain. Could be the difference maker as he picks that one up. Kiyoshima as well, winning battles towards this jungle position, but Fur's holding it down. 5 HP, and he'll get 4 kills in this round. Fur has been a god on these T-pistols throughout the entire tournament.
That is exactly the start they needed, SK, and now it is catch-up time. Perhaps they can forget the horrors of the first half, the nightmares. 4 rounds between the two sides. Looking at the investment from Faze, Alu saving for AWP. It's not a full force. Some people have left $500–700 in the bank, but the Deagles are in play. 3 Faze clan members looking for these meat shots. And there's Nico. Infamous Nico. Not in this round, however. Some damage done to Cold. There we go. Kiyashima picking up the slack. He'll drop with Rain almost in stereo fashion, leaving it in a 4 versus 2, so percentages go up wildly for SK in this round. Bomb's been left top mid. Not proposing anything crazy, our Faze, and for, again, he's the expendable man of this Mac 10. It's okay if they lose it. Not the best versus armor, so he can take risks, and but he loves this stuff. He's a cleanup man for the SK side, running around with constant aggression, and he's making some bank as well.
So just like that, it's going to be a quick
health and safety.
7 rounds for SK now. So only 3 away. And if you consider again how the first half started, it's all kind of leveling out, beginning to. Obviously, the tale will be told as we see this first buy round eventually come in from Faze. But for the time being, that won't be it. We'll see whether or not we'll have Faze able to really do anything with just stock USPs. Should be another round for SK to just make loads of money. And looks like SK are going to have a fight on their hands. A rush of middle.
Daze previously mentioned in the studio that it's really, it can be really dangerous to go mid on an anti-eco. And it did look a bit tricky there when those flashbangs started to come in. Faze playing the numbers game, but to no avail. A brief round in favor of SK. 8-10, the buy coming out for Faze. Alu on the sniper, of course. Due to the investment in the second round on this half, the grenades will be limited for Faze. And that might mean that they get aggressive. They might make a play, push into uncharted territory. 2-1-2 set up from the CT side to kick things off. Phelps around the corner from top mid. Fallen keeping the CTs honest, looking for a peek, looking for a jump, but the smoke will start things off. And let's not forget the headshot we saw from Skadoodle.
Yeah, I can't ever forget that, James. That was just savage stuff. You throw a flashbang and you'll just die, even if you're behind a wall. Incredible shot from Skadoodle. He had a great mirage on the T side. Can be very difficult as an AWPer as well, generally speaking, on the aggressive side here. SK actually giving us just a little bit of a breather, just playing a slower pace than Faze was on their T side. So we're getting a slower round here as they develop their map control. They themselves, as Faze were, have middle though. Quick Molotov in there. Nico will understand there is pressure in from that middle position, that there are players here. Will he, he's not really in a position to be flashed in by a teammate, but he'll take a dry peek there onto a pretty shallow angle, finding Phelps, trying to just creep up into mid for free, or rather into the ladder room for free. It won't happen this time though. And now going back for the bomb SK. They're set up for the A push. It's time to kick off this push into the A bomb side. But Faze, they have 3 players here to defend.
Kishima moving into a forward position on short as well, so Thursdays may be numbered. Bomb thrown to a teammate. Definitely want to make sure that doesn't hit the floor and give something away. 20 seconds for SK to push in. Nico's going to get traded by Taco. You see the positioning, you see Alu's support. That may take these teams by surprise as this clock continues to run down. The gun dropped now, sorry, the bomb dropped. Coldzera no longer has it, he's dead. Fallen, forced to retreat in the dying seconds of round number 19. Faze moved to 11. Asking if there was a gap in the smoke, to which Nico replied yes.
All right, so the first gun round won by Faze. I mean, it's always a little pressure off your team when you can do that on this map, because you really want to have a lot of money for those buy rounds. You want to have the AWP out. Sometimes teams like to have 2 AWPs on the CT side, and you want all the incendiaries, and you can do so much with it on this map. Never want to play it with no economy on that defensive side, so it'll be interesting to see what we can get here. Very fast push coming in from Fallen. What on earth is this? We'll get traded eventually, but an A straight to the face. This is not football, but can't headed that one back. Fur will make his way up the connector position. Look to see what else he can find, as right now Faze down to 3 men on this defense. It's going to be tough. We saw Rain do this previously. It's so dangerous having someone go behind lines. And that's what Faze going to do and pick up the kill onto Karrigan. 2 players for Faze now.
Kyoshima was passive towards short, could not stop the connector play from being made. Rain trying to hold on to CT at the moment, but we see Faze position. He is a problem. Again, SK taking their time. They've got 1 minute. There's no need for them to commit. They don't need to go crazy. They're being very, very careful, trying to minimize any potential mistakes. This is a game where mistakes are capitalized on at the top tier. Finally coming in for the flank, and if Duran was not already over, it certainly is now. Kyoshima left on the B-bomb site, wondering what's happened to his comrades. 11-9. A lack of money on the Faze clan economy, so they're going to have problems moving forward.
Yeah, SK could be doing somewhat of a mirror as to the first half, but now, you know, having them giving a lot of problems to the CT side of Faze with a very nasty reset. You never want to see it if you're on the CT side. It's, as I mentioned, you really want to keep that, that money going. It's so hard otherwise. So it'll be interesting to see what Faze opt to do in this next round, especially if Kyoshima can save this AK, but he can't. He gets hunted down by Fur. So no guns saved into the next round. That's always very annoying, as you really want to keep that pressure on, keep that economy low, keep the damage coming. And what you want to do with as little as money invested as possible here in Faze's position. So what do we see? A few deagles for them. So far a 5-7. Not much else. And here's that super aggressive play. Crazy stuff. And straight
in his face, man.
Straight in the face.
That was in his mouth like an apple. Well, SK, it's anti-eco time. But again, these deagles, man. Nice open map is Mirage. Not when there are smokes down. With the opening kill of the round. Not much to say at the moment. Relief for Faze just need to hope for some opportunities with these guns. They are subject to the will of SK. Getting some revenge for the previous half. Only 1 round won so far by Faze in this half. 5 now for 1 are the SK side in half number 2.
We'll see if they can keep it going against Faze. What are Faze going to go for here? Obviously, that reset has so many implications. It just takes you ages to get that optimal buy-in. So another situation where we'll see the saving come in from Faze, and you know, different teams will take different approaches here. We saw Cloud9 previously just investing loads in spots like this, but we see almost a full save from, in fact, a full save from Faze. I really like this. They only have 1 flashbang.
It's not a full, it's not a full save, then you lied. You got a flashbang.
You got a flashbang, yeah.
Why are you lying? There's so many people here. You lied to all of them.
Oh, the spray down comes in. A nice little stack there going on in the connected position. 2 kills. That's a really good result, considering that there's no investment. And AK picked up as well by Alu. So perhaps some more damage to be done. Cole's very low here, and Alu is actually in position to take him down. Alu could do something here, but he'll get taken out by Cole. No Kevlar. Always sad times. And this is the problem that Cloud9 had, James. They never had money because they never did like 2 full ecos. But now, look at Faze.
We're going old school, Dad. We've got Karrigan AWPing on Mirage. Vintage Karrigan, but will he be successful? Double AWPs, Alu and Karrigan. Third one on Fallen. This may be a nasty surprise for SK. We'll see how they are able to deal with this, if they're able at all. Phelps moving towards mid, and there are 3 people in B. I'm sure it's just initial map control being taken by SK, but perhaps one person will make their way into mid via the underpass. Taco lurking towards A in the meantime, and you see SK looking for openings, and Karrigan, oh, there is a gap there, and he's got to get the first tag. Be the recipients of it, I mean.
And now it's a waiting game, all those smokes up. We'll see if SK want to keep the pace very slow. I mean, they've generally been running a slow pace on their T side. To be honest, it has generally been working. They're looking for a response here from Faze, but on that double AWP, they're going to play it passively. It's going to work out. The patience is going to reward Alu. Picks up the kill onto Phelps in middle. Now we get a play attempt here from SK. They want to get something back against this team, and it's Fallen to do so. Who else would it be with the AWP? Kyoshima now in position to try to ruin their day as they start to shuffle into this B bomb site, try to take control. The bomb, I think, could be going down very shortly as another frag comes in from the likes of Cold. Kyoshima still in position. They don't know where he is. Comes in for the second kill. Kyoshima doing big work there on the B bomb site. And Fallen, he was there to support, but now he is the only man left.
Kishima will finish him off as well. I was wondering if Kishima saw the T jump out of the window and move into the site. I'm assuming no, because he was just focusing on the balcony position. But it paid off in the end. Multi-kills from Kishima. Lovely burst there, tapping a burst at the end. Taco was lurking in the meantime towards A, but he wasn't really able to make any plays because there was a late smoke on the ramp, so he was just forced to stand there and spray through it, which isn't the best fake in the world, but it's all he could do at the time. Then moving through, he eventually got picked off by the last player once the rotation had already come in from the CT side. Double ops continue with the third one onto Fallen once again. Lots of smokes in the middle position. At least 4. 5th on A ramp, and first been picked off very quickly indeed.
Yeah, that was very fast from Nico, I think an underpass as well. So, we'll see now if these, I mean, in a situation like this, the double obviously very strong. I mean, playing passively is brilliant when you've got that man advantage. But if the Ts do go for a set-piece execution somewhere with all the smokes, it can be very hard to deny the bomb plant at the very least. And retakes can be awkward on the B-bomb side. So I wonder if that's the finish here for SK. They do have a lot of players on catwalk at the moment. Taco could provide some distraction towards the A position. When will he go? Does he wait for distraction? Oh, the angle's good. Nico looking for that one, though. So smart is Nico. And now Taco will be forced to go for a play. Able to take down Alu, not looking towards his position as, of course, all the distraction towards middle has definitely caught his attention.
Fallen's got to be careful now because Nico was just around the corner, but Cold Zero picked him off from the ladder position. Who does this favor? The man advantage is still with the CT side, then that CT is still on A. Rain doing the job again, often left on his own. So much trust in Rain, and he almost always delivers. Faze 13-11 now. The comeback has been on for SK, but perhaps it's been stocked in his tracks. They've still got the cash to buy, but Faze are getting closer to round number 16. Great 2K from Rain on the A sites.
SK with that tactical timer trying to discuss what is to be the approach moving forwards. It's definitely a very hard-fought match at the moment, very close between these two. I didn't expect Faze to be the ones leading for the majority like this. Coming out the gate so strong. What do you anticipate from SK, James? Do you have any inkling as to what they might like to do in this next round?
Well, first, someone actually accidentally pressed F1. It's interesting, sometimes every now and then you see an auto buy accident by somebody pressing F1, but I don't know why they don't just remove it from their config, because when, as a pro player, do you want to use the auto buy button? If you remove it from your config, then it can't be pressed. What do I expect to see from SK? It's tough. I don't think that the double AWPs from Faze has even been so much of a factor in these recent rounds. I mean, one issue is the output from Faze has just been too much. They're winning a lot of the duels. That said, SK have been closing the gap since they've started on the T side, so maybe the AKs are the answer. Someone's crashed, so this round is going to be restarted. No action has happened just yet. It's a false start, people.
Yeah, it's good that this happened at the beginning of the round and not, as you say, in the middle when there's been action. Yeah, so SK, they haven't actually played very quickly in a lot of these rounds, and again, they know there's a double AWP out, so I would be surprised not to see something a bit quicker from them. I mean, Cloud9 were actually able to have a lot of success playing that very fast style, playing that execution-heavy style as well, so could be something they're going to go towards, I think.
Oh, he's still got it. What a beast. That's not bad.
Could be worse, could be worse.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Would have expected global with the Ronaldo haircut. I think many people in the crowd might be too young to remember that horrific haircut at the World Cup, no less. Very curious stuff.
Hey man, if you're a famous AWP player, you can get away with anything. Right.
Playing poker now these days, Ronaldo.
So back into the action here. It's, again, 13 rounds for Faze, only 3 away from taking map 1 at the ECS 3 Grand Finals against SK, who now sit on 11 rounds and are having a decent comeback into this after that first half was quite dominant. But the double AWPs, they've come out here for Faze, and they're definitely strong.
Carrigan towards the B-bomb site with his sniper. Nico and Rain playing on A. Ali moving between CPL and jungle. And Kiyoshima near Karrigan for support. In the meantime, SK starting slow towards the middle area. Waiting for any initial grenades. Cold and Taco, 2 players towards A. That would suggest an A play to me, ultimately, even though the bomb's in the middle area. Nobody lurking in apartments. Shenanigans from SK. Fallen, flying. He's on the end of the Titanic. He's Kate Winslet. Looking for a cheeky peek through connector. And that CT position is a common one where you walk in for a peek, but Nico, he cannot be stopped. No AK needed. And that's the bomb behind the smoke, in control of the CTs.
Yeah, but Phelps is going to creep around the back. He can see the bomb. He knows Nico's in connector. He knows what's up at the moment, but he's got players behind him to worry about. Now his position's been discovered. Down to 4 HP, tried to retreat. And now it gets so desperate here for SK. You can see they're trying to take plays all over the place. Not really happening for Taco. And now that just leaves 2 here for SK. And the bomb is in control of Faze. This is not what they wanted. It's all gone horribly wrong. Now it's Cold against 5. Quick consolation frag, maybe 2. Cold going for number 3 as well. Making a good attempt at it, but it won't come too easily or quickly for him. 20 seconds to go. Even if he can make it all the way to the bomb now, I don't think he'll have time to plant. This is so desperate. But damage can be done as Cold looks to play off the smoke.
Yeah, that's a smoke you don't see so often, but from time to time, the T's can drop that smoke. It allows them to look around the corners. You can jump up on the bricks as he just tried to do and see players towards CT. So when that smoke goes up, you've got to be really careful as a CT player that the T's might be trying to play a one-way. Good effort by Cold towards the end, but what a shot from Nico. Again, the bomb taken down in isolation. And Phelps, he could have got so much, but the rotation coming in from B caused problems. Ultimately, it was Rain to get the kill. Faze looking very coordinated, a well-oiled machine. 14 to 11. SK with some difficulties now. No more snipers. 2 Tech 9s, 3 AKs for the side. Cold and Fallen in B apartment at present. Phelps top mid and Fur towards A with the bot.
Karrigan looking for some information. Perhaps. How aggressive will he get, or will he just sit here? Looks like he will back away a little bit. And there'll be some prodding, some poking from SK. It'll also be apps, but it'll be very, very passive for the time being.
Fallen dropping a smoke, I think to isolate a short player, but he'll get picked off in the meantime. It seems like SK were trying to serve a fake towards the B bomb site, but it's not really worked out for them so far, losing a player. And now they look to split the A site. Phelps on short, Fer gets picked off as well. More problems for the Brazilians. Nico will not allow a connector to be taken. He'll get traded eventually, however. 3 versus 2, things fragile now for both teams.
It's going to be interesting. 45 seconds to go. Bomb down by the slope at the moment, so pretty retrievable for these SK players. All looking for the next man, feeling his presence with a pre-fire. Make his way now towards CT, where there are 2 players. This is a big moment, but he can't take him down. Kiyoshima so fast. And now Taco with the deagle in hand, starting to peek. Hard range to connect those 1 deeks. There's 1 though, looking for number 2 as well. Will Faze risk it? Looks like Rain will come in to save the day and eliminate the last remaining player in Taco. That's 15 rounds now for Faze. 1 more, and they have map 1 in the bag.
SK on roughly $3,000 a person. They'll get grenades. And that may allow them to close the distance and try to use these Tech 9s and abuse these Faze players. But easier said than done, especially when Nico and Rain are firing on all cylinders. Nico with 25 kills at the moment, but Rain leading the charge with 26. Alu playing catch-up, picking off Fur, moving through the underpass. 25 kills himself. And there's Rain with another one. It's a 4 versus 2. SK smoking the CT position from Tetris. Good smoke to learn, but it might not be enough to save them here.
Yeah, it's looking very desperate at this point, but it's fallen in Cold in the clutch situation. Those are the 2 players you want, but it won't work. Nico's in position. A quick duo of kills from him, or double that is, as they go 16 to 11. Yanko predicted a Faze victory, James. What do you think after such a performance?
Well, they've taken the first map, that's for sure. Both teams putting in work on the T side, but ultimately Faze had gone too far, winning with a 5-round margin in the first map of this best